What's going on, Dividend Chasers? It's Dividend Bloodhound here with another investing episode. In this episode, we're going to talk about, is it too late to buy Hyliion stock now, or Tortoise Acquisition, or SHLL to give it its names that it's got at the moment pre-merger. Now, this company is due to merge in Q3 this year. However, the stock price has came on leaps and bounds in the last few days, and we're asking the question in this video, is it too late to buy? Have you already missed the bus? Now, you'll have to stay tuned for the rest of the video to find out my answer to that. That being said, if this video does bring you some value, do please hit the like button. That'd be absolutely fantastic, and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell as well. As I've already mentioned, FOMO is starting to take hold with this stock already. The price leapt up 33% yesterday, just in the spate of the market opening hours, as we approach the IPO date, which I don't have a confirmation of yet, but is expected in Q3. As soon as we get a date for this merger, I would expect the price to still rally up until this point. The price is now $40 a share, having run up a lot yesterday. I'm currently up 98 or as close to 100% as you can really get on this company. I got in very, very early indeed, and props to JMac Investing for that one, because I saw the video on his channel, did my own research and decided to take the plunge as well. I really liked the look of this company, and his interview with the CEO was absolutely fantastic as well, and it really convinced me round after having a look at the products and their fundamentals, what we can get at anyway. I really like the look of this company. You guys probably already know, but this type of company is called a special acquisition company, and it is known as Tortoise Acquisition, and they're aiming to bring this merger to the stock market properly, and then the company can trade under its new name, Hyliion, and then the share price can go from there. At merger, the company is expected to be worth over $1.5 billion, and there's going to be $560 million spare in this money cashed in to accelerate the production of the product line that it has to offer, including the e-axles that the company is going to sell to existing. This is where their niche is. They're going to sell to existing truck manufacturers for incorporation in their current and future models. This is how Hyliion, Tortoise Acquisition, whatever you want to call them, are going to get their product to the market much quicker than the likes of Nikola, for example, who recently their only income was the solar panels on the roof of the factory or the CEO's home, which is a bit funny if you got a bit of a sense of humour that way. Now, I'm not going to tell you whether you should or whether you shouldn't invest in this company. As it's a merger and as it's a special acquisition company, obviously inherently it takes a lot of risk involved in this, and you need the risk appetite to do so. However, what I am going to do for you is I'm going to present a bull case, I'm going to present a bear case, and you guys can take your information forward from that and see whether you want to invest. I mean, the stock prices came on such a long way already, but I do believe, as you will see in a minute when I present the bull case, that there is a lot of growth still in this company, and I think it easily will match Nikola's price when they merged a few months ago. So the bull case here, as I've already mentioned, is that it sort of replicates exactly what Nikola did, but I believe this company is in a far better position than Nikola. So I genuinely think that the share price could double again once we get a date for the merger. I think the price will run all the way up until that point. So I easily think we could get to $70, $80 a share, maybe more than that, especially as the excitement reaches almost fever pitch like level. Because this company is expected to do so well quicker than Nikola, I think it could even go higher than that. At the merger point, or near to the date of merger point, I would then expect to sell off whatever the peak price is. After merger, I would then think that there's going to be a steep drop out of the other side, as the companies that provided equity in the first place and the initial early investors, a little bit like myself, may cash out their profits. I mean, at that point, these people could be 200, 300, 400% up. And in that respect, they've already made their money to a degree, so they might cash out. So then I would expect another drop. But at that point, that is another good point to buy into this company, because I think the potential long term is absolutely excellent. And I'll go on to this a little bit more later after I present the bear case. In 2022, there is expected to be a revenue of $322 million, which isn't bad for the first couple of years of running this company. And then by comparison, this price is due to go up exponentially and be revenue is supposed to be 2.1 billion by 2024, which is coming on leaps and bounds and is sort of going under the same sort of revenue growth at that point as Tesla, which is obviously a massive big tick in the box for a lot of investors. A Saudi truck company has also already placed an order for 1,000 Hypertrucks, and that already they're happy to do that, and deliveries are expected to start in 2022, should I say. And that is a massive vote of confidence in this company already. Those orders were for the Hypertruck, which is still in its concept phase at the moment, but this is the truck that's widely expected to go toe-to-toe with the Tesla Semi. The bear case for this company then is that it's going to get squashed and sandwiched between Tesla operating a full electric truck way before Hyliion's Hypertruck gets to the market. You've got Nikola bringing up the rear in a completely new type of energy and zero emission truck. I'm not sure just how well Nikola will do with that, and the race is sort of on for Nikola to get a truck to the market before Hyliion manages to get its Hypertruck to the market. And then after that, you've also got the traditional truck manufacturers as well. If they don't take up the e-axle or they don't take up the Hypertruck themselves, they're going to develop their own alternatives and their own green alternatives to do so. So like the likes of Volvo, Navistar and Peterbilt are all going to come up with their own greener alternatives, and Hyliion could get lost amongst this if they're not careful. If you're a bear investor, you might sort of think about that a little bit more cynically than somebody with the bullish case. We are, of course, very early on in the history of this company. It doesn't have any major revenue yet. It blew through $40 million worth of funding and hasn't achieved any revenue yet. That's for obvious reasons. Its products are still in the development phase, so it's unlikely that they're going to generate revenue, obviously, this year, and there probably won't be very much revenue generated next year either. Because the company is so early on in its history, we obviously don't have any fundamentals to look at, so that carries inherent risk with it as well. And also there is a very small chance that the merger might not happen. Something might come up, and I'm not saying that this is, and there's been nothing in the news to suggest that that is the case, so please don't think that. But that things happen in business where things just get put on hold or shelved almost overnight, and there is almost no explanation for it sometimes. So that is also something that you have to bear in mind when investing in special acquisition companies and mergers like this. It could, at the drop of a hat, all go south, and that is where the risk is involved in investing in companies like this. So before I take you into the app, I've got some final information for you guys. Dana, which is a company that has a lot to do with marketing, Volvo, Navistar and Peterbilt trucks, they bought and invested a significant chunk of equity into Hyliion in the early stages, which is a huge vote of confidence going forward. The truck market is absolutely huge as well. There are so many companies competing in the sector, and we as consumers buy everything that's essentially been on the back of a truck at some point in its life, whether that be the production phase, manufacturing, delivery, or actually bringing it to us, the consumer ourselves, to our home addresses. At some point it ends up on the back of a lorry, and this trend is set to continue as we consume more and more and more. And what do we need to do that? More trucks And if we don't want to damage the environment, we are going to have to start seriously thinking about green alternatives to the diesel trucks that we've got now. And this is where companies like Tesla, Nikola, Hyliion, especially Hyliion in this case, are really going to come to the fore. And Hyliion can at least do it in a two-pronged approach. So Tesla have just got an electric truck. That's what they've got. That's what they're going to offer. It's this expensive, that's it, tough, that's your product. Nikola, going to be very much the same. You want a zero emission truck, you're going to have to pay this much for it. Whereas Hyliion is going to be able to offer both. They're going to be able to offer different manufacturers their generator that and the electric drive axle that reduces fuel bills by over 25% apparently. So they can offer that to trucks that are still going to be diesel in some respect and offer it to their manufacturers. But then when they get their Hypertruck going, they'll be able to offer a fully electric alternative as well that can go toe to toe with Tesla and Nikola. And that gives them a very good way of offering something to the market that we've got now, because obviously most trucks at the moment are diesel powered, and they can take some serious revenue from this in terms of hybrids all the way along the line until eventually I'm sure that we'll get to the point where trucking will all be electric for the most part, and then they'll have a product ready to go for that as well. So they can really generate two sources of revenue, one from the transition from diesel to electric and the hybrid between the two, and then the fully electric version as well. And then I'm sure that they will reinvest and come up with even better alternatives along the road, of course. I'll just take you into the app now so we can have a look at what fundamentals and the charts are available about this company. Obviously, as I've already said, there isn't too much to be had. There isn't that much information there right now. But what you can see is the exponential growth of the share price over the last few days or so, where it has literally gone to the moon. Well then, I guess there's nothing left to do but actually go and get involved, and let's go and have a look. I'll catch you in there. What's going on, guys? Welcome into the app. So here we can see how exponential the share price growth has been, over 100% up in the last month. And we can see it initially spiked when the assignment carried on at $31 on the 28th of June. And now yesterday it spiked up at $40 a share. And there's been a minor sell-off in the market today, down 8%. But I'm expecting this to proceed all the way up to $80 a share, as I said, at some point before merger, once the merger price is announced. People are clearly cashing in their profits at the moment, the likes of traders, but I'm holding this one at least until merger day, where I might consider selling. But at the same time, when you see the likes of Tesla and how it's doing in the future, this company has got a very bright future ahead of it. It'll be a tough decision if I and when I come to it. As you can see, I'm £62 up at the moment, or 80%. There has been a minor decline, but still, as you will probably agree, quite an impressive return. We don't really have a lot of fundamentals data at the moment. We do have a market cap saying it's worth 871 million, which if we think back to what I said earlier, the company is expected to be worth 1.5 billion at merger date, so that is almost double. So seeing an $80 share price isn't to be too unexpected. The rest of the fundamentals are all off at the moment, and we can see that the company has only generated 2.32 million at the moment, which is of course to be expected as they're still in the development phase of their product. I'm very excited about this company. It's probably my favourite SPAC company and the acquisition company, and I really do like the way it does things and how the CEO acts as well, especially on camera. He does do a really good interview and provides such a wealth of in-depth information about his product. It's actually quite refreshing to see, especially when I compare him to the likes of the Nikola CEO, for example. That being said, I'm going to wrap things up here, and I'll see you back out in the real world. Hey again, guys, welcome back. Not too much to really say about that, to be fair. You can see the price growth that's gone over the last month or so. It is absolutely flying right now. Is it too late to get in? I would say absolutely not. The share price could easily double again before we get to a merger date that we don't even have yet. I would say if I had any more money at the moment, I would definitely add into my position. And yes, it would decrease my returns for now, but longer term, that would easily double the money. I'm not going to make a recommendation to invest because that's for you guys to do your own research. But if you just look at the propensity of the company, you look at what happened to Nikola, you could easily get in, get out after merger date and make a tidy profit there. If you're holding for the long term as well, this is still a good price to buy in at, because I really don't think the sell-off, if we get to $80, $90 a share and people do sell off and take profit, I don't think that the price will halve completely. I could be wrong on that, but I just think the amount of products that Hyliion has that means it's closer to the market. I don't think the drop will be as bad as Nikola, because people realised all of a sudden that Nikola didn't have anything to sell, didn't have anything to present, whereas Hyliion will be much farther ahead than Nikola were, easily 12 months ahead of the same position that Nikola was in. So I'm going to wrap things up there. I hope this video has helped you make a decision, or at least give you some tools to make your decision. That would make me very proud if I've helped you do that. I rate this company very highly, obviously personally. If this video has brought you some value, do please hit the like button. It helps the channel out massively. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel and tick the notification bell, it'd be great if you could do that now. All that remains for me to say is thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in another investing episode. Catch you later.